Welcome to the channel and this new Let's Play for Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 11. This update was released on the 18th of November 2019, if you're watching this in the future, and it represents a fairly substantial change to gameplay, and it's actually going to be a change that's probably going to change some of our habits with regard to building ships and how we use ships as within the game. Now, I'm aware that not everybody is happy with long introductions, so there will be a timestamp appearing now where you will be able to jump straight forward into the gameplay. Now, this introduction is going to consist of 3 parts. The first part, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Alpha 11 update and the changes that have been made. I'm not going to go into great detail. What I will do is put a link in the video description for any of you who want to go and see the full release notes. The second part, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Eden project scenario, and then the last part will consist of an introduction to the Let's Play and its objectives and all the other various bits and pieces. So let's get straight in with what is actually in the Alpha 11 update. Now, of course, the big change of all is the new CPU system. It's had a pretty mixed reception, but what they've actually done since the initial release into what at the time was known as Alpha 10.6, they've made substantial changes and increased the levels of from tier 2 to tier 4. I think that has actually mitigated some of the complaints because there is scope within those tier increases now to build the ships that were in the past. But of course, you need to be aware that this change will have a big impact on the workshop. And although the devs have taken on board some people's objections to using CPU, and there is an option in the game difficulties where you can switch that on and off, and we'll be looking at that in a moment. Now, moving forward, there is a new HUD, which is going to change the way we get our flight information. If you watch my previous series at the last 2-3 parts, I was using that HUD. It had a few bugs, but looking at the release notes, they seem to have tried to address some of those. Now, moving on, another changes, there have been changes to the flight mode and aerodynamics and thruster rebalancing, so that will have effect on way ships will fly, and especially if you've got the more blocky type ships, these ships may be a bit more unstable. So again, even if you're playing with CPU switched off, be aware that your flight characteristics of your favorite ships may not be exactly the same as it was before. Now, another interesting change that's been introduced in this update, and it was originally launched as the ability for HVs and SVs to dock with each other, but what has actually happened is this has now been increased to allow same to same docking. So that means that theoretically you should even be able to allow 2 CVs to dock together, but be aware of the following caveats. If you dock a ship onto another ship, the ship that is docked, its turrets are not available, its shields will not work, and its weapons do not work. So if you imagine if you put an SV or a CV on the top of a CV, what will happen is that will be outside the shields of the main CV if they've got them. That means that that top ship will still be vulnerable in an attack. So this is something you need to bear in mind. And I have to admit, one of the concepts I had in mind was actually putting an HV on top of an SV and using the turrets of the HV to defend the SV. But based on what they've actually stated in this update, that won't be possible. So I'm probably going to have to rethink that strategy. But I've also looked at a couple of videos of various people thinking about the possibilities of this, and some of them are very interesting. So moving on to what you could say is some of the minor changes, because there's a whole list of bug fixes and other changes. There's been changes to base attack again, and it also says quite unusually building changes. I'm not exactly too sure what building changes actually means. There are some new material blocks being added. I think there's more than 16 of those, which is going to be interesting. I haven't really come to terms with the last lot that's been added, let alone a new set. And there's also been some new POIs added to the game if you start over. So that's all the main changes. As I said, there are a lot of other minor changes in there which could be worth looking at. And I'll repeat, if you really want to see all the detail, there will be a link in the video description to the release notes. And finally, and this is quite interesting, I did actually consider doing this as a Let's Play, but there's a little note on the bottom of this section that made me rethink. What they've actually done is they've added to the Akira Omicron scenario a demo for the multi-planet systems, which will be coming. I think it probably be like Alpha 12 or something like that when it arrives. But they do say, note that this is a tech demo and it's not fully functional. So that's what made me think maybe it's a bit too early to do a proper let's play on that, because it could actually break the game later on, especially as the fact that they may do an update later on. So that's the first part finished. And what I'm going to do now is move on to the scenario. Here we are on the start screen for the Project Eden scenario. And I want to start by saying a big thank you to Ravien for getting this scenario updated to Alpha 11 so quickly. He's managed to do it on the same day as the update was released. And congratulations to him, and big thank you for all the effort for allowing us to be able to start a new playthrough with the full Alpha 11 enabled. And, well, what can I say beyond that? What I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the scenario in general, just for any of you who've never played it, never run up against it, and may want to consider playing it yourself. And then of course we will then get into the right hand panel and talk about the detail of the start that I'm going to do. If we go into the top, you'll see it says this is a work in progress, many features are incomplete. I think that's pretty modest on Ravien's part, because this is a very big scenario. As it says below here, this scenario creates a large randomly generated solar system with default and custom planets, moons and space playfields. It's a very big project, and I can expect this will probably be a work in progress for a very long time to go, especially as all the new updates keep coming out. But it's very playable and it's very challenging. And one of the key ones here is the custom planets, because there are some pretty tough planets out there which will really challenge the player and push their ingenuity towards being able to survive on them, because there are some custom planets in this system which you can barely survive on, even if you've got a really fully tricked out capital vessel with epic armor and epic weapons. Some of them are pretty challenging, and this is what makes this scenario so interesting. It's also got a whole series of, well, you can say interesting starts is probably the best way to do it. And what I'm going to do is just flip through these, talk very quickly about some of them. I'm not going to go through them in any great detail. Now, if you're familiar with the game, these first ones here, the beginner, the easy, temperate 2, which is the advanced start, all relate to the standard game start. This one here is you start on a base, so this relates very much to the standard game. And then if you move on to here, this is an arid planet. It relates to the what used to be called the Omicron start, which is now part of the Kua Omicron scenario. It's a little bit of a side here. If you want to look at the multi-planetary systems demo that's been released, this is the actual scenario that you want to select and play. I'm not going to do that because I just want to focus on CPU. I'm going to store up my pleasure for the multi-planetary systems for when it comes out. I would guess it's probably going to be Alpha 12 because it is a big change. And of course, what's happened is because I flipped scenarios, this is actually reset. So I'm just going to flip through to here. Now, odd temperature, I've never really looked at. I haven't played all this, and so I don't know how difficult this start is. I have played Swamp. Swamp is really interesting if you are into, how can you say, getting into fighting the local creatures very, very quickly. Although I would say that it's not kidding when it says medium hard. And when I did a test play, I got killed relatively quickly. Now, Ocean is the scenario we're going to be doing. I'll talk a little bit more about that after I've shown you the other starts. Now, the other contender was Snow Dwarf. And what I'm going to say is a big thank you for all your suggestions of starts. And it was, I can't remember the person who posted it, suggested Snow Dwarf. And I did take a very serious look at. And what it actually did is it came down to Ocean and Snow Dwarf. But I actually went for Ocean simply because it's winter here. It's flaming cold, and I just didn't want to play a game where I was cold. Plus the Ocean starts a little bit different, and I was quite intrigued with that. I also had a couple of suggestions for the Dead Planet, and I do want to do the Dead Planet, but Spange has already done a long series on that, and I think a couple of other channels have done series on it, and I didn't really want to go in and duplicate what they've done, so because I think Spange is still doing his series unless he's going to drop it for Alpha 11. The other thing I also want to do is I want to keep this start for when the multi-planetary systems come out. So I will be doing a dead one in the future. But what I want to do in this one is we come back to Ocean. Unfortunately, you've got to flip all the way through here. Ocean is pretty interesting in the sense that it's got a very different start. There is no pods you crash with or base. You literally drop straight into the water. We'll be showing you that in a little while. And I think it's quite a fun start, actually. Anyway, I think that is enough of there. So what I will do now is move down. You see the ocean planet seems to have no ore deposits near your position. You will have to build a vehicle to get them. By scarce means you will find that you can find. Surrounded by wildlife and may be hunted down by the patrol vessel. It says for experienced players, it can be a difficult start with very slow progression depending on your choice of harder starting gear, larger planet, and a bit of seed luck. And I would say that that is probably a pretty good overview of this start. And what we're going to do is we're just going to work through the stuff now. I think we'll just call this Alpha 11, what we call it, restart. No, not restart. Starter. I think we'll just call it starter. I'm not very good at naming things. The seed, this is the random seed that was given when I opened the scenario, so I've got no idea what that's going to be. I think there is a note on the release notes for this scenario, and what Ravian says is that if you want a custom seed, what he says is put the seed in, change to another scenario and change back, because there is a bug or something about the seed not being fully implemented or something. I'm not too sure what that is. Difficulty. Now, I'm reluctant to go to hard, simply because I do want to make a lot of progression very quickly in the early stages so we can get to the ships. And as you saw, the description says that the initial progression is slow. So I don't really want to grind through that initial phase, because in Alpha 11 there are no major changes to the initial start. So I think we're going to leave the equipment to medium, and in fact we're going to probably leave all these to normal. We'll leave the auto miner to true. I think the amount of ore deposits can stay normal. Enemy difficulty, I think we'll leave that on medium as well, but I think what we will do is we'll put the drone presence and drone base attack to high, simply because this is more to mid-late game when we'll have the capability to take down drones. So maybe having that on high would be more useful. Of course, because we're making a let's play, we're going to push the actual constructor craft speed and blueprint repair speed up to fast, because it's just a bit of a drag having to wait for a very slow constructor. We're going to leave these on false. Of course, we're going to turn on mass and volume, and more importantly, we're going to turn on CPU, because that's what the whole objective of this let's play is, to look at the new CPU effect on a playthrough. So we've got that there. Now, again, I would normally like to go for a large planet, but again, I do want to move through this section fairly quickly. So I think we're going to stay on medium. You can see, so we got a type as an ocean starter, planet difficulty easy. I'm not sure how they get that definition. Gravity, I think it says planet difficulty easy. I think that's to do with the fact that the temperature range is pretty reasonable, the atmospheric density, and it's breathable. I don't think it's got anything to do with this scenario, so that could be a little bit deceptive. And we got gravity. Resources, we've got iron, silicon, copper, promethium, saphium, estrium, gold, cobalt, and magnesium. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight for the start now. And what should happen is that when we drop into the planet, we should land in the water, and I will see you once we actually get there. Okay, we've landed in the water. We've found a junkyard, small wreckage, a great Epsilon Defense 1. Got some small wreckage over there. And let's have a quick look at the map. Oh great, we are smack bang in the middle of Xerax territory. Life is going to get a little bit interesting, I think. Let's have a look at what we've got in the way of resources. We've got a projectile pistol with 70 rounds of ammunition. We've got a portable constructor, a survival tool, we've got bandages, we've got antibiotic or thing, and 1 food. Now, one note, if you start this on hard, you start without a light armor, and what actually happens is you do get hypothermia. I'd like to go out on that small wreckage, but something tells me I really need to get ashore and get some weapons or something. No, maybe we'll take a chance on the small wreckage to start with. And most everything else seems to be going that way. I've certainly got a junkyard. I'd like to get to the junkyard, but that Epsilon defense tower is going to be a little bit interesting. And I suppose I better sort out my priorities as well. What do we actually need? Let's have a think. Certainly going to need a shotgun. Let's have a quick here. We need level 3 for the shotgun. We've got the detector, which is already unlocked, but we probably haven't got the resources we need. Electronics, optical fibers, computers. Wow, thank you for that. Certainly wouldn't mind an ore scanner. So that, I think that's the main priority. We want water O2 condenser, because we're going to be swimming around a lot underwater, so we've only got one set of oxygen. That could be useful. I think let me just have a quick check here. I haven't ever made a survival tent, but I think we're going to need one from here, otherwise we're going to have a lot of groping around in the dark. I only need 10 plant fibers for that. That's going to be okay. But I'm going to apologise in advance that this first part we will probably have to end up groping around in the dark a little bit. Small wreckage first. We're going to get to in about, say, 100, between 100 and 120 meters, and then we're going to drop down and see what we can find below. In fact, I think I'm going to drop a bit more, just get under 200 meters. I'm aware that there's probably going to be parts where we're going to be swimming across the water like this, and what I will do is edit this stuff out. Wow, some pentaxid there. Trouble is I'm going to be very limited on space, so I don't think I really need pentaxid just at the moment. Now, if any of you are new to swimming underwater, what I recommend is don't put the top. The moment you put a weapon on, you sink to the bottom. But if I sink to the bottom here, you will see you can't see anything at all, and more importantly, your weapon doesn't work. And pteropods can turn up underwater, down even in fairly deep water. Most of the time they're in shallow water and kind of what you'd call medium depth water, but they can show up and they can be very annoying. And if you haven't got a weapon to defend yourself, because you can't use weapons underwater, they can be a real pain in the neck. So the best way to explore underwater is not to put a weapon or anything on, and just float above, because if a pteropod sees you, they will follow you, but they can't actually reach you. So, oh, the other thing, let me just have a look. Can't see any Talon territory here, but there's bound to be some. So I think what we're going to do is just want to kick off this mission for the Talon as well, because when I did my test playthrough, I actually landed near Talon territory, and I made the classic mistake is I thought, well, I can gather lots of resources here, and I forgot that the Talon will get upset if you harvest in their territory. So what we're going to try and do is kill creatures, try and make the Talon friendly, and the pest control mission is a good way to do that, especially in the early start of the game. Not that I've ever really before felt the inclination to do that, but we're certainly going to do this here. Get in here and grab this, and here's the small wreckage. I'm just going to come here. We've got another 300 points. We found an old tower. See what the gods of the scenario are going to give us. Oh, well, we got 4 mechanical components. I think what we're going to do is try and if I land about here, I'm just going to equip the tool, get salvage. And I think what we're going to do is just do a little bit of salvaging. I don't want to salvage everything, but what I want to do is get maybe about 20 odd steel plates, or at least 10. I'm just going to grab some of these. If we undermine here, take out these here. If you go for the damage blocks, they've actually got lower hit points, and thank you. Oh, we only got 2 steel plates out of there. Yeah, if you go for the damaged ones, you can get some steel plates out of them, and they do come out a lot quicker than, say, full-size blocks. Just going to grab some here, and anything else here. There's a couple of damaged ones here as well. If you compare that with the cargo box here, I mean, we could take the cargo box. I'm aware on the oxygen situation, I want to keep as much oxygen as possible. I mean, the shotgun has got to be the absolute priority. One thing I found with my test playthrough of this start is that resources are very short, so I'm going to have to gather some rocks to make some copper and iron and whatever we need. Though iron isn't so important, but we do need iron ore for some things, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we got how many steel plates we got? 19. Maybe we'll just get a couple more. I'd like to have about 20. Because I'm not sure. Just pick that up and we'll just do one more. That's, yep. I'm just going to drop the weapon. I'm just going to float up to the surface. We haven't used too much oxygen. Got an old tower that way. Kind of half tempted to go in that direction. Maybe we'll head for that headland over there, then work our way down the beach towards the junkyard. We certainly want to try and get to the junkyard and that other small wreckage, but I just want to see whether we can find anything up this direction here. It looks like there's something on the horizon, and we're going to have to be a bit careful there, because without the scanner we can't see things very well. Anyway, I'm going to make my way towards the shore. Is that actually a separate island there? Yes. Because one of the things we're going to have to do, being in Xerax territory... Oh, great. Maybe we won't go there. I think we're head just in here, I think. We stay more than 400 meters away from that Epsilon defense tower. We should be okay. Right, I'm just going to get sure. We've got to watch out for pteropods. Oh, great. There's one on us already. Defense mode. Get the jetpack on. I'm just going to grab the fatty moss scrapings. Where are you? Okay, we're going to move along the coast here a little bit. I don't like the idea of leaving one wandering around because they will ambush you. But at the same time, since we've got to work the shoreline to get the rocks and resources, most of the rocks and resources, we're certainly going to take the silicon. And grab as many of these rocks as possible. I mean, it's defense mode. Where are you? Got some iron there. There you are. Come out of the water. It's the bug ugly. I want you because you're a source of food. What I'm looking for is anything that's special. I did see some iron up here. I'm certainly going to grab that. Probably find the problem one's going to be copper or something stupid like that. I'm just going to keep grabbing these. We've now reached level 3, which means we should be able to unlock the shotgun. The problem's going to be is, let me just get away. What we got up here? These berry bushes. Okay, let's just drop it here. Weapons, shotgun, unlock, and just going to drop the put that in there. And what do we need for the shotgun? Mechanical components. Let's pop that in there. We can make the shotgun. What we can't make is we need copper, and I think to make ore we need 15 stone. So we're getting, what's that, 5? We need 65 of those. We can make one of those while we're actually at it. Let me just see if I can find some more rocks around here. Going rock hunting. There's a nice big one here. So we need to feed the portable constructor to get some rocks. That's 6, wow. And, I mean, this is going to be a little bit of a grind. Where's my constructor? Okay, just going to put that in there. Got another one. Going to put the shotgun on our load bar. I think we got. Just put that in there. Make a couple of stakes. I don't think the milk is any good for anything at the moment. And the other thing I'm going to do is we're just going to start crafting out some of these. We're going to. The protein bars are going to be one of our main staple. Keep grabbing the rocks. I'm just going to work around this area for a little while. And I think we'll probably take down a tree as well. Get some logs. So let's get defense mode. I mean, I don't want a vast amount of trees because I do have a weight limit at the moment. So, right, we got 2 logs. Maybe we'll just take another one. Right, we got. So we're just going to jump into here. Right, we're certainly going to take that and that and put that there. We'll just make another ingot. Let's take this out while we're at it. Just knock out this ingot. Right, so how many more do we need? Need 1 more. Okay. Let's just move along the beach here. Right, we found a Sathium deposit, which is be great for the future, but we don't have any purpose for it just at the moment. I mean, but it's nice to know that there's some there. Right, we got some spices. That could be useful. I think spices cure a stomach upset. Let's just knock out these, get these steaks in, get my health up a bit as well. Defense mode. Now with this start you can get all sorts of creatures arrive, so don't assume just because it's the start that life's going to be easy, that you're going to get just the low level creatures. In my test playthrough I was quite happily wandering along the beach and I ran into some spitting bugs, which gave me a little bit of a shock. I'm just going to grab another one of these rocks, and I think we're just going to pull inland again a little bit. Yeah, actually let's just do 1 more rock while we're at it. This is a bit bigger. And there's actually some plant protein there as well. Where's the other one gone? Okay. Didn't I pick up my... Oh, this is stupidity. There's a mushroom there. So I'm going to take that. Oh, great. There's... What was a stupid thing to do? I didn't pick up my Orbital constructor. That's the type of stupid thing that gets you killed in this game. Right, then we've got to come back here. This we're here. We need 4 This is going to make 10, isn't it? Is it going to make 10? I'm just going to... I wouldn't mind... Okay. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Shotgun shells. Shotgun. Reload. Right, let's just get in here. Right, where are those aggressive dinosaurs? If I stand near the water, I can retreat into the water if life gets a little bit dodgy. I hate it when the game does that. It gives you a bit of a fright and then you can't see. At least if I stand on the water's edge here, they can only come from, you know, in front of me. This is where I get ambushed by a telepod. This is a bit of a dangerous place to stand around, and I think what we're going to do is move along the beach a bit. What's that there? That looks a bit different from the rest. Okay. Well, we'll keep grabbing the rocks. Because what I want to do is make a portable scanner now. I'm getting a little bit nervous. When I do want to go in land a little bit, just to see what we can find. Because there's some buds up there. Not that they're going to be much use, but they are XP. We're going to keep working along the... Anything else here? What I wouldn't mind is a berry tree or something like that as well. I'm just going to keep moving along the shore. Okay. Oh, don't run. That's my nerves. Okay, we're just going to put the light on. Now, apologies in advance that we're going to be operating in the dark, but I'm a little bit worried about the idea of setting up around here with a tent, although I haven't made a tent yet. Let's see if I can't remember. Let's just have a quick look. We'll make a tent. We don't have any. We need some more plant protein or something. Keep everything going. I think we'll just eat that. And we're just going to keep going. Keep grabbing the rocks and the plant fiber for the XP. And just grab that. I'm startling at my own footsteps now. There's another pteropod there. And you're going to get it well in the face. Because I need the meat. And the XP, and we want to complete the Talon mission. I mean, really great if I could get to that junkyard. But it's going to be right underneath. We've got the small wreckage as well. Off the shore. Maybe I need to get to that small wreckage as well. So let's just get down onto the shore. Another rock here. We'll just take that. Because I just love collecting rocks. And I'm just gonna just drop the weapon, and we're gonna. I'm just going to get out into a little bit of deep water. We've got plenty of oxygen yet, so maybe we can swim underwater and collect the plant protein. As I say, I won't sleep through this night, but once I'm up and running and I'm a bit established and we've got a pretty reliable source of food and other items, and more importantly we've got some kind of operational base, then I will be sleeping through the night a bit more. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to land here. Is there only the one? I think there's only the one cargo. I don't know. There might be a second one. It'll be a bit difficult to tell sometimes. Okay, we've got energy pills. We've got some food, and what I want to do is, I'm just gonna. And what we want is a section here. There's a nice big section. There's the pteropod. Look, telepod. I keep saying pteropod rather than telepod. Whoops. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to cut away this side here and see if we can make it collapse. So I can get some more steel plates. Need to keep an eye on the oxygen. We take out the broken bits there and this bit here, and we cut through here, take that out, take this bit out here. Okay, yeah, this is it's been anchored up here, so I'm just going to take this section out. Right, thank you. And that's given us another 26 plates. I did see a light on the end here. We're certainly going to take that. That should give me a couple of optical fibers, and I think that's about it for here. I'm just going to drop the weapon and bye-bye telepod, and get up to the surface. Oh, what's that blue crystal there? Oh, we're certainly going to check that out. And we check through. Got some canned meat. I'm going to put the canned meat on the toolbar so that I can keep enough space in here. I'm going to knock out another one of those. Okay. We get ashore. We're just going to check out this blue crystal. I would speculate that because of the blue, it's probably promethium. And I think getting some promethium would be quite useful. Just going to drop this down here. I'm going to see if I can. We're going to make a couple of stakes. Keep the stakes going. Can't do anything with that. And what I wouldn't mind is we need electronics. Should have known that. Oh, where are you? Ugly. Yeah. Well, there's a few more stakes to do. Might as well make the stakes while we're at it. 1, 2, 3. I think we'll make a couple of copper ingots. Just wow, patrol ship coming my way. We could be in trouble here. It's only 400 meters away. Gonna need to, if it sees me, I could be in trouble. We're gonna need to actually. Sorry. Grab this. Grab that. Cancel that. Grab that. Gonna grab that. And we're gonna go for this. But what we may have to do is go underwater. Yep. Go away. The patrol vessel doesn't seem to see you if you're actually in water. we're just going to have to watch him drift away on the horizon. Didn't really want to get hurt though. What we're going to do is pop a couple of stakes again, just to repair that damage. I say my energy bars are going to be the backup, and we've got some canned meat. I don't think this actually is, but what we're going to do is just trying to keep killing pteropods and keep pumping that health in. Right, he's cleared off. Wow. Oh, don't you just love this game? Back to... Yeah, I certainly want the Prometheum. Because once I can get round to building a basic hover vehicle, having some Prometheum supplies would be really, really great. So, just going to grab this. Of course, they're going to roll down the side of the hill. We're going to have to try and snatch them really quickly. Go back to the shotgun. And hopefully, because we're now on a kind of sandy beach, we should be able to see a bit better despite it being dark. I'm just going to grab some more rocks. We need that copper to make the scanner. Right, we found a submerged tank. Generally, submerged tanks don't have much in them, but you've got to remember this is a scenario, so just because in the standard game it may not have anything in it, in the scenario it could be totally different. So, actually, what do I... can't remember. What do I need for a scanner? Oops, no, it's tools, isn't it? Detector, not scanner. Electronics, optical fiber. Now, if I can get to the junkyard without being hit by that Epsilon base, if we keep the profile of the ground there, I can see another Prometheum as well. The junkyard has antennas in it and items like that, which can be there. Actually, what have I got? I think what I'm gonna do is use a couple of these to make some bandages as well. Right, we're gonna grab this. Get this. Of course, one of the downsides of when you're gathering rocks like this, the noise of the actual drill or survival tool covers the noise of creatures sneaking up on you, so you do need to be aware of that. And of course, the nice thing about the survival tool, it doesn't need fuel. No, I don't think I'm going to go and try and grab any more rocks just for the moment. Keep looking around. There's some more plant protein up there. What we're going to try and do is get close to the junkyard. We keep below the line and maybe come up with the junkyard from below on this slope. We may be able to use the buildings as shelter. Famous. Oh, great. Who are you? Green arachnid. Thank you. Oh, one of the pleasant surprises in the game. Let's just grab that and grab that. What on earth is that? Plant protein. Okay. Right, what have we got there? That's a capacitor decor. Right, this is what I'm after. If we can salvage these. Actually, if we drop this in here and did somebody just... oh, crapola. And the question is, can I make a run for the beach, or will that stupid thing forget all about me? He's still coming in closer. Right, he's moving away. I have to eat some more steak stuff. Repair that health. Of course, the other problem is my light armor can take damage. It's already, durability is already down. So pop some more. Right, he's moving away. Thank goodness for that. I was so busy trying to do things. Oh, isn't this fun? Right, let's see if I can make all scanner optical fibers. Computers, alright, we've got. Right, let's just get in. Of course, one of the problems with the patrol vessel, it doesn't show up on the radar. Not until it's too late. We're just gonna. That's a bit. When I first got attacked, then I thought that was the Epsilon base hitting me. I'm just gonna grab these antennas. Antennas are a very good source of electronics and computers. So having these will be. Right, let's just get into the junkyard. We'll do this side first. And see what we can find in here. Ah, okay. Multi-tool, yes. And we've got a multi-charge as well. Wow, that's a great find. And we've got some more components. Some oxygen. 118. I don't think that's going to be enough. No. But what we can do is we can use the multi-tool now. Oops, no, multi-tool. Oh, no, don't want that. No. And got that. Take that. Right now, I'm going to waste time there. We've got another multi-tool charge. This is a absolutely fantastic find. And what we got up here? Right, we've got a jetpack boost. If you ever find somewhere to sell things, got a. Trouble with these is they're going to fill my inventory up. So what we may have to do is make a second, what do we call it, portable constructor, and effectively store this stuff in so that we can come back for it when we need it. Because truthfully, at the moment, we don't really need it. Optical fibers, yes, we'll take this. And I don't think we need anything else here. I'm just gonna jump into here. Whoops. And what we got here? Adrenaline shot for stunned. Not the most useful of things. More shotgun shells. And this section always seems to be radioactive. I think we'll just. Right, we actually got some food here with health. Wow, we're certainly going to pop that straight away. And we got here. We got alien plasma. Yes, that could be useful for medication. We got ourselves some plants. No, I don't think I'm particularly that interested in plants, to be honest. They're nice to have, but right. So we've got anything there. Now there is a turret up here. Oh, he's back again. He's getting too close, and he's firing at me again. Okay. Shift F. And I'm actually getting hit by heavy weapons. Wow, he actually destroyed. We're actually destroying the trees in the water. We're just going to drop the weapon, and what we're going to do is just going to try and get away from him. But we're obviously right underneath his patrol path, and that is bad news. And we've got some Promethium over there, but I get everything. Okay. I've filled my inventory up. I'm certainly going to drop the steel block. I don't actually need that. I don't know where that came from. And we certainly don't want that. We can drop that. This is one of the hazards of using a multi-tool. Health. Perish time on that's 135. And survival constructor. We've got 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to make another one of those. Perish time, 5 food. I think we'll just eat that buds to get out of the way. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just run the risk of indigestion. We can cure indigestion with the spices, yes, okay. That should clear the indigestion. That'll give me a bit more space. And looks like we've got some alien plasma one there. Like that crazy patrol vessels cleared off again. And I certainly want this here. Just going to keep picking up the good stuff. Right. Certainly want to get rid of you. Certainly don't want you sneaking up on me while I'm actually doing this. Right, that's oh, I was hoping that was going to be plant protein. What's that over there? Is that something I can pick up? Yeah, we've got some plasma T6. Okay, we've done the small wreckage. And it's gonna hunt these down with extreme prejudice. Oh, great. Right, let's get rid of these alien insects. Would like to complete the Kill Predators mission in this part, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go after the alien insects and get rid of those. Certainly would like to check out the submerged tanks over there. Patrol vessels clearing off. I'm just going to get down here. Some more. So there's some silicon there as well. So I'm going to grab that. Actually, can I make a... actually, I haven't even unlocked it. Okay. One portable constructor unlock. And can we break one? We need copper ore. I should have known that. Oops. Where? Shotgun. There he is. And we've now completed the mission. We're doing okay here. I've got the mission. Let's just have a quick look. How much have I got for stone? We need copper, and I can't break any of this down. We've got the Promethium. And right. Ah, 11 patrol vessels coming back again. He knows I'm around. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. He's coming this way. I have to get back into the water. We're now level 5. Some silicon there. He's just lurking around here because he knows I'm here. Don't know whether making noise actually attracts the patrol vessel. It's almost like he's circling round the junkyard. There's a pteropod there as well. Shotgun. Just to consider my options. It's the patrol vessel. In fact, I think if we go south, and I'm going to run out of oxygen if I'm not careful. Okay. He's too close. I don't have that much oxygen left for this messing about. He's up over there. I think maybe it's time to leave. Maybe this area is just a little bit too dangerous. And maybe if I go southeast and swim. He's just hanging around here because he knows I'm here. Oops, getting a bit too excited. I think what I need to do is find somewhere where I can set up a reasonably safe base that I can escape. So what I'm going to do is swim towards the sunrise and see if we can open up anything. In fact, if I swim towards that peninsula down there, and if we get well away from the patrol vessel, I mean, we're going to come back because we're going to take that patrol vessel out. I've had enough of him already. In fact, I've just noticed the time. I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do off camera is have a major swim round to see what I can find in the way of islands and do exploration, because this isn't going to be particularly that exciting. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.